Hello, welcome to ON Plainsboro. My name is Anthony Cancro. I'm Township Administrator for Township of Plainsboro. Today I'm here joined with Les Varga to my left, the Director of Planning and Zoning, and Brian Miller to my right, the Director of Code Enforcement. We're going to talk about a very exciting development behind me that's going on today, and we want to talk about the progress of that project. We're located on Scudder's Mill and Sharks Crossing, and I'm going to talk to Mr. Varga first about the planning process that goes into a project such as this. Les, you want to tell us a little bit about how it works with the planning board and the township committee to get a project like this off the ground?
Sure. The planning department really staffs the planning board and the zoning board of adjustment. There's statutory requirements, of course, that we have to apply to and abide by, but for a project like this, we start off with really kind of a clean slate. What was the property designated originally? What do we want to see for the vision? Those visions are encapsulated in the township's master plan, and they're implemented through the zoning ordinance. So between those two documents, the planning board serves as staff to both of those bodies and ultimately the elected officials for the town.
As I understand it, this is known as the Cornerstone Project. Can you tell us why that is and the role the planning board actually had in signing off on this?
Sure. Back in 2002, the site plan for what we know as the Village Center was approved. Part of that approval essentially left this cornerstone or corner parcel out of that planning process. We always had envisioned for it to be a complement to the ultimate Village Center that's been built out now for a few years. And now, as you see, it's under construction. The ultimate use of that property had to undergo through a master plan amendment, again through the planning board, to get the buildings that you see before us today that are going up.
Great. Now, I understand the Village Center project was a very exciting project. Is it the same developer that's done this as well as doing this project, and who is that?
Yes, it is. It's a Charbel Development Corporation who has done an excellent job with the village, both the commercial and the residential. And they came before the planning board a couple of years ago to start the process for this corner parcel once they had a couple of anchor tenants, Panera Bread in this case, and Five Guys Burgers and Fries. So Charbel Corporation is building the building that you see going up behind us.
And tell us how a commercial project like this fits into a village center.
This building will actually complement the Village Center in terms of its architecture. The exterior building facade and the materials used in the building, the roof line, etc., will mirror the village and complement this corner parcel and serve as the gateway ultimately to the Village Center.
Thank you, Les. I'm going to turn now to Brian Miller, who's the Director of Code Enforcement. Brian, tell us a little bit about your Department of Code Enforcement and what it does on a day-to-day basis to keep building structures safe.
Sure. Thank you, Anthony. Well, our department is comprised of 4 separate divisions: the building, the housing, the fire prevention, and the health division. On this particular project, since it's new construction, our responsibilities fall primarily within the building division. We ensure compliance with the state's modeled codes, which are effective based on their time frames. And we ensure compliance with codes, we ensure inspections, or we ensure compliance through inspections. During the first portion of this project, we've performed a lot of concrete inspections, and the structural steel, as you can see, is going up behind us.
I understand when you have projects that are of this magnitude, they have to go through a plan review process that's dictated by state requirements. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and what your staff does?
Sure. We review these plans for compliance. Each respective subcode is responsible for that, comprised of building, electric, fire protection, and plumbing. So we look at those elements of the design. We ensure that they comply with the code requirements. We do that through the plan review process, which usually takes approximately 2 to 3 weeks. We have currently approved this facility for the shell, the full structure, and the subsequent fit outs such as Panera Bread and Five Guys are pending review right now.
And one more time, just repeat the type of reviews that your staff goes through for a project like this, and what we are now and what phase we're in now.
Okay, sure. They first came in with an application for a footing and foundation for the building. We looked at that for compliance under the building subcode for structural adequacy. We released that portion of the permit and then subsequently issued a full release under the other respective disciplines for electric, fire protection, and plumbing, which allows the applicant to obviously build the building. And then through the course of construction, we conduct several, if not many, inspections.
How much further do you think this development will take to come to completion?
Probably about 6 months from now, we should be looking at a finished product. These are all dictated by forces outside of our control sometimes. So I anticipate,
such as the weather.
Such as the weather. As you can see, it's a beautiful day today. So hopefully, the nice weather continues, and the work that you see behind us should be wrapped up in the next few days, and then they will start constructing the outside walls and the roof structure and start making it look like a building.
Now, your staff will be out here from time to time checking the quality of the work and making sure it meets code?
Absolutely. We do many inspections as a result of this work. Like I said, we did concrete inspections before the placement of that concrete. The slab has not been poured yet. There's still some underground work that needs to be done there. And the structural steel, we typically get certifications for that work because of the bolting and the welding that occurs. But we will make probably hundreds of inspections before this building is completed.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to thank Mr. Varga for explaining the planning process that goes into a project like this, and Mr. Miller talking about the code requirements to make sure we have a safe building. We do plan on coming back to this site again when the building is enclosed, and then one more time when we have a grand opening. Thank you very much for joining us on Eye on Plainsboro.